Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. We have got a massive stream for y'all today. We are covering the CPI event happening in just a couple minutes. I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I want Nick to be able to get some chart analysis in before we get to that. So let's take a really quick look at our biggest movers to the upside and to the downside so far today. Taking a look here at the market heat map inside of the Edge Finder. Up here towards the top, I see CAD JPY, NZD JPY, and CHF JPY, followed by some more yen crosses. So yen pair is performing pretty well to start the day. And let's see, GBP CAD, USD ZAR, gold, Euro CAD, USD CAD, Aussie CAD down here towards the bottom. So Canadian dollar crosses seem to be selling off somewhat today. I want to thank our sponsors really quickly, 8cap, Forex Tester, and Superfunded for sponsoring today's live stream. If you want to know any more about those three, you can find links to them down in the description. Again, thank you again to 8cap, Forex Tester, and Superfunded for sponsoring today's stream. And the last thing I want to get to, guys, follow us on social media if you don't already, at A1 Trading. On Instagram, we post some news videos, some news recap type stuff, some other fun stuff. We have information about our giveaway, which you might hear more about later. And we also have Twitter as well, A1 Trading _. There is lots of useful, we post analysis and things like that, links to any articles that we write, as well as video recaps and some other fun stuff. A little motivation here, a little motivation to get your day started. So go check us out there. But let's go ahead and jump right into the markets with Nick.
All right. And thank you, James, for that introduction and getting us started here today for today's really big stream. We have CPI numbers coming out. And I put out a tweet this morning and my tweet went crazy. I mean, I just basically I was pointing out the fact that CPI right now is a huge deal. Probably more. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys, the old heads in the room, the people who have been around here trading with me for a long time, you know that CPI used to not be that big of a deal before 2020 and before all the chaos with COVID-19 and that sort of thing. CPI numbers were pretty boring because you had sort of rock bottom inflation and interest rates. It really wasn't a big deal. Nowadays, things have changed quite substantially with the printing of money and all that sort of stuff. We have a serious CPI problem, but the other problem that we have right now is some banks are going down in the United States, and many are speculating that the Federal Reserve will look to not raise rates as previously expected, as much as previously expected. So many people now expecting a 25 basis point rather than a 50 basis point. And some people even saying that there will be a 0 interest rate hike, 0 basis point interest rate hike. So despite that, we have a chaotic market. In light of everything I just said, gold really liked it. Gold flew to the upside here. And the question is today, is there going to be some follow through? And is this dollar going to keep coming down as it has, allowing things like the gold market and also, by the way, things like the NASDAQ to continue flying higher? We're going to take a look at all of that today, and I'm going to keep you guys up to date with everything. Do me a big favor, guys. Take one moment here. Hit that thumbs up button. It would really help us out to get this stream started, get some more people in here for the news event, and let's watch this stuff together. Again, we are here Monday through Friday. If you want to support us and make this stream more possible, just help us out. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, like I said, man, this gold move has been parabolic, really crazy move. 100-point move, guys, 1812 all the way up to 1912 in just a brief period of time. My question here for the gold bulls, though, is that do you think this market has been a bit extended? I mean, this thing has really run. The reason I asked that question is that I think many of us would say, oh, yeah, it's probably extended. The problem is, guys, this is something hard to jump in front of because, yes, it may pull back, but we don't know that. And it could just continue to fly through the moon, I guess through the moon, to the moon. But I guess one thing to think about, though, is that if you are bullish, what do you do? Well, for me, I've mentioned this. I put this out on my Twitter yesterday. James mentioned A1 Trading's Twitter. I also have a Twitter. We're very active on there overall if you'd like to go find us. I mentioned this level here on my Twitter where I said basically, hey, look, if this thing pulls back, I gotta dip my toes into some gold longs. Part of the reason here is the Edge Finder has a +5 buy rating, scoring high in areas like COT data, seasonality, an upward trend, and the fundamentals don't love us here. But overall, that's kind of a mixed sentiment there. We have GDP growth, which favors gold longs, unemployment, which favors gold longs. So it's a mixed fundamental side, but a lot of the sentiment stuff is really pointing towards more upside for gold, especially in light of this really heavy momentum push. So this is for the gold traders out there. Like I said, I am bullish on gold if we get some sort of retracement in the coming days. And again, a big opportunity for potentially seeing something like that today with CPI numbers coming out. And again, let's go take a quick brief look at the fundamentals, or at least the projections here for today's CPI numbers. Now, again, we get these numbers, guys, in 8 minutes. So stick around with me. We're going to watch the spike together, and I'm going to give you guys my take on it. We're going to react to it together. So CPI month over month expected to come out at 0.4%. Year over year expected to now hit 6%. And finally, core CPI expected to raise month over month by 0.4%. We're going to watch this together, guys, and this will be a very telling thing as to what the Fed may have to do. Are they going to have to raise rates to keep this cool, this inflation from getting too hot again? That is a number one priority for the Federal Reserve. Remember, this is what their target all the time is. They want 2% inflation, and this number, that won't do for the Fed. At the same time, though, they don't want to crash the economy. They don't want to cause banks to go under. This stuff gets really complicated really quick. And that's why hopefully these channel uploads and streams and stuff are helpful to you guys. Again, I've been doing this for about 7 years now. This is kind of my life's work, if you will. So again, something to think about is that, yes, it gets complicated, but stick around. You can learn for free just by tuning into the streams each day. So when I'm looking at this dollar move, let's be completely honest. Some of the bullishness has fallen apart. However, I think that the dollar is sitting on its last line of defense. Okay, so we broke this level. This was a big level for bulls. We tried to bounce here, came down, and have been hovering around this 103.67. I think the market is sitting here waiting. It's waiting to see, hey, is this thing going to have any strength off of this zone, or are we just going to break it and keep going lower? And again, I'm not here to forecast. I am a reactive trader. If this level breaks to the downside, I'll stop out of any longs that I have on the dollar, and I'll look for, I'll try and avoid the dollar for the time being. That probably wouldn't be a bullish case scenario. If we get, for example, cool inflation today, yeah, the dollar train idea might be out the window for a little bit, but that's ahead of us today in the news. So we'll see what that actually comes out to. One case for bullish technical analysis that I have on the dollar is check out this fib level here. So price came down to 38.2. It's hovering between this consolidation around the 50 and the 38.2. Like I said, I think this is sort of your last line of defense for dollar bulls. If this level can't hold, if we break down, then I will probably abandon a dollar long idea for the time being. Again, news is ahead of us. We have 5 minutes to go here until the news spikes, which will be very, very interesting to watch for the dollar across the board. A quick look at the NASDAQ 100 will show you guys that yesterday we had a big day, really, really big pop for the NASDAQ. There is your hourly chart. Prices exploded off of this support level. Question is now, is this going to be the start of a bigger move? Well, you still got some headway, some headwinds, if you will, with this downward market structure. But today, again, we will have to see, as this market is likely to move dramatically one way or the other. If it starts to sort of break out to the upside there, the NASDAQ may be an opportunity to look to get long. That is perhaps in light of them turning back on the printers, right? B-R-R, printers go burr, right? That's the idea, is if they have to cool the cool the interest rate hikes and look to protect banks and flood money back into the system, if those things go back on, yeah, stocks are going to run, right? And so that's a weird concept, because you would think that would be a fearful thing. But again, sometimes the stock market does some weird stuff. We saw that reaction yesterday be very strong already. Guys, we got 5 minutes before the spike. We're going to be taking a look at coverage on several assets. Let's take a look now at pound USD here, which was significantly able to break through a key level of resistance here. This is a pretty big stand for pound dollar bulls. Again, we are sitting bouncing slightly off of support, but again, a very key day today with CPI numbers coming out. It is expected, as we just mentioned, to come out at a 6% year over year, and we're going to see if that actually comes out as expected or not. Now, again, big level of resistance here has been broken for the pound dollar, but again, take it with a grain of salt. We are still going into major news announcements, and looking left, we still have some key resistance on the higher time frames, a daily chart level even, that has yet to be sort of broken. So if you're a pound dollar bull, today is an interesting scenario for you, because you may get something like this. If we get, for example, cooler than expected inflation, it is very likely that the Federal Reserve will raise their interest rates at a slower pace to try and make up for or protect some of the banks and stuff going under. That is not, we don't know that information yet. We're waiting to see. That's why the market will react so strongly. I won't be taking any spike trades. I won't be trading on the actual release or anything like that. But the aftermath will definitely produce some trading setups, in my opinion, that I will be looking to go after. So stick around for that. So again, pound dollar bulls, if we can get a breakout, hey, you might have the start to something bigger here. We'll watch to see if that decides to be, if that ends up playing out. I don't personally love the idea of getting long pound USD. If you are looking to be short the dollar, my personal opinion is gold might be the play. And as I've mentioned, this is the daily chart. You can see it on the 4-hour chart even better. I mentioned this earlier in the stream, a pullback on gold. Should we see that, if you are short biased on the dollar or long biased on gold, this might be an idea to keep in mind. Should we see some volatility there? Now, for the day traders, you might even want to trade this thing back the other direction, depending on what happens. Now, again, let's get lower time frame here. This is the 1-hour chart on gold. And guys, we've got about 2 minutes. In just a moment, I'm going to set up my charts to just watch the spike with you all. So let's take a look at this. Here is the gold chart. And if we're looking at this thing, let's see, I'll go here. We clearly have a consolidation zone prior to the news. If this thing breaks, the day traders may want to trade sort of the interaction with these levels. That is definitely more of the day trader side of things. I'm not personally a heavy day trader or anything like that, but I like to point them out for people who like to look at this. Gold definitely putting in some strong highs and some strong lows prior to the news, and we are going to see if one of those levels can break or not. Guys, I'm going to set up my charts now so that we can watch the release of the news. I'm going to set up, okay, let's go here. I'm going to go a 4x4. We're going to put a couple different currency pairs in the chat real quick. Spam what you'd like me to pull up. I'm going to put gold for sure up here. So let's do our 15-minute chart tradition. We like to watch the 15-minute charts on the reaction to the news. We'll put the S&P 500 on the top right. We'll put the euro, and let's see, euro, yes, we'll definitely put the euro. Some people asking for that. We can put the euro 15-minute chart there. And finally, we'll put maybe dollar yen on the bottom left and see how this one plays out. Again, some crazy volatility expected. Please be very careful, guys. We've got 1 minute to go here now. And together we're going to be watching the spike to see if there's any sort of major reaction. And don't go anywhere. We're going to give you guys some coverage following the numbers, because again, that's where things get really interesting. Please be very careful. As always, guys, many traders lose a lot of money gambling on the news. So please don't let that be one of you. Be very careful. If you're trading the spike, hey, that's a decision you get to make. You're an adult if you're trading this stuff. But please be very careful. It's very easy to blow a lot of money thinking you know what the news is going to do. Been doing this for years and years and years. I have no idea what the news is going to do on the spike. I think that is more gamblers' play. We like to trade the aftermath. So let's keep an eye on this one, guys, and we'll see what the CPI numbers bring for us here today. All right, and CPI, here it comes. We'll see some volatility here. An initial move to the downside there on gold, dollar yen spiking up, S&P down a bit, euro USD. And guys, remember, if you have numbers for us, please share them in the chat. A little bit of a reversal here. Dollar yen pulling back. We have gold shot to the downside and then immediately rallied off of that. Very interesting to see that. Euro dollar spiking down and coming right back up. 0.5%. So we hit our, I believe we hit our 6%. Is that correct? Let me double check that that is the case. Yes. So we had 6% and 0.5% core inflation, causing some S&P 500 rallies here. Very interesting to see there. Dollar yen uniquely not really making much of a move. Gold rallying back up to 1909. Not a huge reaction here, to be completely honest, guys. It seems like the market must have sort of guessed it accurately to most degree, as we don't see that much of a reaction at this time. We'll have to watch and see how that decides to play out. Again, we are looking at 15-minute charts, so yes, there are some volatile moves here, but nothing fully pushing one direction just yet. And I will say this, guys, this is why we warn against trying to trade spikes. If you were trying to trade one direction here, if you tried to get triggered into a short trade, it was a tough day for you, because you get triggered into the short and the market immediately spikes back in the other direction before your order even fully gets filled. Like, it's that crazy to try and trade the spike. Again, we talk very heavily against doing that here on the stream, as that is sort of, for lack of a better term, mostly gambling, in my personal opinion. The euro is rallying here. It seems like the dollar idea. Let's see if we can just pull up a DXY idea for a second. So DXY down here this morning, and look at that dollar. Let's see, how big of a move was that? Let's go look at DXY again. That's a dollar. I mean, this is a 15-minute chart, so it's just retesting the lows of this this support. Again, we will see how this level reacts to this going forward. Gold hitting 1930 today. Let's see if it happens, man. This is going to be interesting. So again, to go over the numbers with you guys here, we have 6% coming out year over year inflation as expected. We have also core CPI at 0.5% compared to the 0.4%. So that is a higher than expected number there, causing some volatility for sure across the board. Now, interestingly enough, you would kind of expect that number to be slightly causing a bit of dollar bullishness. But to be fair, though, again, a lot of people may have even expected higher inflation than this. So this forecast is, like I said, it's a forecast. It can be right, it can be wrong, and sometimes it's off. So this number, 6% today, may have been just sort of short of what the market was thinking in terms of hotter than expected inflation numbers. Despite that, let's go back and take a look at gold now, see what's going on. Gold on the 4-hour chart, capturing back some of its losses, but still kind of a spiky chart. You've got things like dollar yen, which have spiked in both directions. You've got things like euro USD also has done the same. I mean, it looked super bullish a second ago. Now it's back into the red. I mean, this thing is really going crazy. You've got the NASDAQ 100 back and forth yet again, spiking, and a really weird candle today, guys. This, you know what I call this? This is the doomsday for the buy stops, sell stops. These are the worst trading days for buy stops and sell stops, because again, you are gambling if the market's going to do a ginormous move. And if it doesn't do anything, or if it just goes back and forth, you lose everything. That's the danger of trying to do those sort of trading strategies. Despite that, volatility will likely be high for the remainder of the trading day with this number, as the market sort of makes its moves, makes its adjustments according to that. It is likely to cause some volatility across the board, despite not having that initial one directional move that many traders were expecting. S&P 500 here also making a bit of a decline. So very interesting to watch. 6%, that means no more increased rate hikes then? Well, so it depends, right? It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. The Federal Reserve has not announced. I believe it's next week, they have their announcement of their next interest rate hike. It is hotly debated whether it's going to be 0, 25 basis points, or 50 basis points. It's a very confused world right now. This number definitely plays into that, however, though, with inflation still being high, but not too hot, I suppose, could suggest slightly that maybe there's a little bit more wiggle room for the 25 basis points, which is arguably why maybe you saw a little fear in the dollar. But now, again, look at the dollar go now. Euro USD here pulling back again. Double topped. I mean, look at this, guys. This is absolutely crazy. This may not be the top for the euro today, but can you believe that this thing came into literally 1 pip of the top? And, this is the thing. Sometimes people will say charts are total nonsense. Well, look at this. It literally pinned up to the exact same top. That is crazy. So, yeah. Now look at that euro dollar, even looking like it may be forming a top. We'll have to watch how this candle closes. Again, this is a 15-minute bar that I'm looking at to watch this spike reaction here today, and keeping an eye on this stuff. You've got dollar yen now making a pretty substantial move, advancing now. I mean, this is a crazy reversal. We had both directions now filling out the candle to the upside, and volatility very, very high. Guys, we are long dollar yen inside of the signals group. If you're not already inside of our signals group, real quick, I'm going to drop a link in the chat, or have my team drop a link in the chat to check that out. And actually, what I'm going to do instead here, let me show you a better option. If you go to our website, and producers, if you guys don't mind dropping the link to our website, if you go to our website real quick and go in the bottom right, if you are interested in the signals, if you want to hear something about how to get access to the Discord signals, head over to a1trading.com, and in the bottom right hand of the screen, there's a little chat icon. Go right here, and if you want access to the signals, come over here and just type the word signals, okay? Just come over here, type the word signals, and hit enter, and you can chat with one of our team reps who are currently in the studio office ready to help you. So if you want access to the signals, then check them out here by, again, head over to a1trading.com. In the bottom right, type the word signals, and you can find out all the information that we have available on the trading signals available. So check that out, and hope to see some of you guys in the Discord group. Let's head back to the charts and see what's going on in terms of market analysis. You've got the Euro USD here now coming right back. I mean, this is a crazy candle, guys, and really wild to see it just going back and forth. You got the S&P 500. Again, same sort of story. Here's the dollar, by the way. Dollar, again, shot to the downside, found its bottom yet again. At least it seems like it. We're currently still looking at a 15-minute chart, and volatility is very high. Look at these 1-minute bars, guys. This is the 1-minute bar on the dollar, and you can absolutely see this thing is going crazy. Back, forth, directional, bi-directional moves here this morning as we get going. So, yeah. Yep. Jason says, literally barely touched my stop loss. Really sucks, but we'll get him next time. Hey, that's really tough, man. I feel for you on that one. That has happened to me many, many times in my trading career. Recently, I had dollar yen. Dollar yen has done that to me many times, right? It's this crazy pair where sometimes it spikes down, tags me out, and then reverses. And, it's easy to look at those sort of scenarios. Maybe you're trading gold and you get spiked out right before a move or something like that. It's easy to look at those scenarios and sort of curse the market or curse your strategy and say, hey, this is not working. But, sometimes, no matter where you put a stop loss, sometimes it's going to get tagged. Whether you want to call it liquidity, whether you want to call it, just bad stop loss placement, doesn't matter. Even if you have the best strategy in the world, sometimes that stop loss is going to get hit and the market's going to reverse back the other direction. If you're not prepared for that, then trading is going to be very tough for you on that note. So, yeah. And again, remember, guys, just a reminder before I close out this window, if you guys want access to the signals, if you're interested in hearing about them, head over to a1trading.com. In the bottom right, click our chat here and just type the word signals. And someone from my staff will tell you about what we have available if you're interested in that. And again, that they're ready to chat with you if that is something you're interested in as we get going into today's market action. Again, this is a day where I think there's plenty of post new setups. Now, I mentioned, guys, I like the idea of getting long gold, but not up here, right? It's got to be on a pullback. So if price pulls back, I'm looking at something like a 61.8%, 50% retracement, something like that. If it comes into play, that will be very interesting, but we are not quite there. And again, DXY, look at this, guys. DXY still finding its bottom, or trying to at least. Will this be the bottom of the dollar? I mean, we'll have to watch and see. But again, the fact that it didn't just plummet through the lows while sitting at a support level makes a good case, technically speaking, for the dollar. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now I'm going to shift gears here and just take a quick look at the latest in terms of the edge finder, see what's going on here. Smart money tracker remains bullish on the dollar. This is part of the reason why, guys, I have been looking for dollar longs. You can see 65% of institutional money is being traced in the COT data as long. So big money is long the dollar. Very interesting. Now, part of the reason I said I don't necessarily like the idea of shorting gold in the previous weeks is because so is gold. Institutional money is long gold and long the dollar. Is that confusing? A little bit. But sometimes you can have both. It's a bit strange like that. So specifically, they're very short on the yen, which is part of the reason why I've been trying several times to catch a dollar yen bullish setup. So I've been tracking smart money here the last few weeks to see if I can find something. Let's take a look now, guys, at what the retail traders are doing with particular assets. You have dollar yen 50-50, NZD USD crowd is shorting NZD, buying USD. USD CAD crowd is buying CAD and selling USD, so selling USD CAD. So a bit of an interesting mixed sentiment there on retail sentiment for the majors. You could expand it out to other things like gold as well. Let's see what's going on with gold. Part of the reason, guys, I don't want to be short gold right now is look at this. Retail traders, they're shorting gold like crazy. Popular trade for retail traders right now is shorting gold. So if you know the popular trade is to short gold by little guys, the guys who tend to lose money, if that's their trade right now, I'm going to be very cautious myself not to try and short gold here. Yes, gold might retrace. Yes, we probably have some room to come down to some levels for resistance, but that is a not probability safe trade in my personal opinion. It would be a trade to avoid. The trade I like is perhaps looking for the retest and looking for the continuation, as I keep mentioning, but it's the concept that I'm trying to focus on. Someone please give me a brain. My account got washed out. I unfortunately, I hate to see that message because, man, it's every single major news event. Every single major news event, uh, you know, people blow their accounts. People mess up. What I will say is that if you make that mistake this time, guess what? Like most people are making this mistake uh, at some point in their trading or not. They go all in on news. They go, gambling on what's going to happen, and they're so sure. Or they do buy stops, sell stops. There's so many paths to destruction in trading. Unfortunately, if you made that mistake, you're not completely done. Now your account might be gone for now, but if you have a long life ahead of you, if you are even remotely young, you have plenty of time to self-correct and never make those mistakes again. If you made a big mistake trading news today, if you bought using buy stops or sell stops or something, and you got washed out or blown up on your account, if that was you today, there's just learn to forgive yourself, first of all, because everyone makes mistakes trading. Everyone makes stupid decisions and feels terrible and does something really, really dumb. You have to make a pact with yourself, an agreement with yourself that I'm never going to make those same mistakes again. And if I'm going to allow myself to keep trading, I have to trade like an adult. I have to trade reasonably, risk very small, and stick to what I know. And no gambling on news events. Right? These sort of things are required, I think, for learning to be successful. So yeah. Gold, are we looking for a sell, Nick? You can reverse the stream just by back it up by like 2 minutes. I talked about gold. I am predominantly bullish on gold if it pulls back, but outside of that, not looking to do anything from there. SPX 500. Let's rotate back and see what's going on here. What a crazy spike that is. I mean, you can just see that is an ugly, ugly candle. Look at this thing. Did not choose a direction at all yet. Just back and forth, probably grabbing stops on both sides. And again, in hindsight, news is tricky because people will see a candle like this and they'll say, oh, well, in the future, I'm just going to sell when it pops or buy when it bottoms. Well, next time, what might happen is it just shoots and just keeps going. So trying to trade news, like I said, is a really big recipe for disaster if you're not careful. So something to very heavily think about. So, guys, I want to also take one moment here and remind you that we are currently doing a giveaway. We're giving away access to our software as well as unlimited access to our VIP group. If you want to enter into that giveaway, we've got, I think, like 1,000 people already in it. If you want to join that giveaway, we're going to drop a link in the chat here. Fill out this link and you can get access for free to enter into the raffle we're going to be giving away. Like I said, it's free to join. You could just click this link and fill out the form, and then you'll be entered into the raffle. So, or the giveaway. So good luck on that. We'll drop that link here in just a moment and go from there. Now, again, guys, in just a second here, we're also going to hear from our sponsors. But before we do that, let me just give you guys an update in case you are just tuning in with us. We are currently staring down the barrel of 6% inflation, 0.5% core CPI, which again, hotter than expected here and as expected in the CPI year over year. Market overall has been very indecisive with this move. You've got the dollar, which has, of course, spiked in both directions and currently just narrowly back to about break even to where it was in the last hour or so. But again, things like Euro USD spiked both directions, went down and back up and all over the place. So a wild day to say the least for this spike. I pointed out that it's very interesting that the euro came just perfectly up to this previous top and spiked back the other direction. We will see. And again, those are pretty big spikes, I believe. I mean, from this candle, you had 27 pips to the upside, you had 23 pips to the downside. What a wild candle this has been. So we continue to just watch and see how these candles decide to close. Meanwhile, give us one moment. We're going to switch over, and I'm going to now let James share a word from our sponsors. Check it out. Take it away, James.
That's right. Thanks, Nick. Today, I want to remind you guys that our stream is sponsored by 8cap. And 8cap is an award-winning regulated broker that gives traders a better trading experience. If you choose to trade with 8cap, you'll be able to trade CFDs like gold, Forex pairs, cryptos, indices, and more. Additionally, their spreads are razor thin. They offer up to a 500-to-1 leverage, and their customer support is top-notch. One very cool feature is that they've recently partnered up with TradingView.com, meaning you can do all of your trading through 8cap directly on TradingView. So if you're a fan of the channel, 8cap has partnered up to offer the A1 trading community a free copy of the Edge Finder, that really cool trading software that you just saw Nick using to look at COT data, retail sentiment, our watch list, the market heat map that we took a look at the beginning of the stream. You can get that for free by signing up with 8cap and depositing $1,000 into your trading account. So sign up with 8cap, put $1,000 or more into your own trading account, and then let us know, and we will get you hooked up with the Edge Finder for free. So click the link in the description to find out more. 8cap is the best in the business, and that is why we are proud to be sponsored by them. Click the link in the description to sign up now. Thank you, 8cap. And just for fun, based off this news event, let's take a look and see what the 8cap 8-ball has to say for us. Not financial advice, of course, but let's see what it says anyway. Buy. So are we buying off the news event? Probably not the smartest decision, but we will see if there's any good trading opportunities coming up. All right, Nick, back to you.
All right. And thank you, James, for that word from 8cap. Again, guys, make sure to check them out down below in the description. You can access some awesome features with that brokerage. And again, big thank you to them for supporting us to do these streams each and every day. Seasonality, big thing to take a look at here. As we reflect on everything that just went on with CPI numbers, I wanted to call into question here like this Euro USD idea. So February, March, and April are expected, historically speaking, to be negative months for the euro. And as we look at it, as this thing rallies, question is this seasonality going to come back into play? We're mid-March here now, and we're expecting a pretty decent decline overall in the euro, according to seasonality data. Now, seasonality data is no holy grail, but it is a useful indicator. What it does is it basically shows you, historically speaking, the natural patterns of the euro throughout the year. And we can do this with any asset, all of your favorite things. If you trade gold, if you trade euro yen, whatever you trade, you can take a look. For example, let's just do GJ, for example, just to see. So GJ also, right, we can take a look at the month-to-month average historical performance. And this can be an incredibly useful indicator. I know Ivan is a big fan of seasonality as well. So if you guys don't have access to this, I want to just take 1 second to tell you guys how you can access our software. If this is something that you think would be helpful to you in your trading, let me show you how you can ask for a free trial from one of our team members here at A1 Trading, the software team behind building all of these tools. Head over to a1trading.com. I'm going to just take another second here to showcase this. If you go to a1trading.com in the bottom right and you type in the word free trial, I guess that's words, plural. If you type in free trial there and just send us a message, one of our staff members can help you out to try out the software to see if it's something that would be useful to you in your trading. Now, of course, the software is not free, but that's why we're offering a trial, just so you can check it out for yourself and see if it's something that would be helpful to you in your particular trading style. It's especially helpful for both day traders and swing traders. Day traders, because again, we plan on also putting out seasonality data that's more intraday, which stay tuned on that. That's very exciting stuff that we're working on, but also retail sentiment. And you've got risk on, risk off gauge and all sorts of stuff. I wanted to also take a second to look at the inflation data, and inflation data coming out here today with the 6% figure. Now, this is not yet updated. This software works mostly on hourly timers. And so in the next, probably next hour or so, or even less, probably in the next 10, 15 minutes, we'll get an updated 6% number here. And you can see that where the US fares relative to the others. We've got NZD, Aussie, Euro, GBP, most of the majors having or experiencing currently higher levels of inflation. So when you ask yourself, well, which currency do I want to go with? If you're talking inflation, the only ones that really have the dollar beat are the CAD, the JPY, and the Swiss franc. Depends what you want to go with. But again, a lot of the higher risk currencies, GBP, Aussie, NZD especially, have higher levels of inflation, with this number now ticking down to 6%. Now, of course, interest rates are also very important to pay attention to, where the US leads most of the majors. The only one it is tied with from the majors is NZD. So a very interesting interest rate comparison there in that data can be very, very useful as we analyze together the interest rate war or race that we are seeing across currencies at this time. Interest rates are trying to be raised at the fastest rate possible that is sustainable to cool this inflation problem that we are experiencing. The markets are pricing in all of that craziness. And today, again, we are watching as the dollar goes parabolic and back and forth, and the S&P 500, as I just mentioned, getting a bit of a pop here on this news here today. And again, not that inflation is no longer a problem. It's just that perhaps there's this room for a 25 basis point rate hike instead of the previously thought of possible for 50, right? So we're paying attention to all of that stuff. Josh says, looks like the S&P 500 is continuing up. You know, for my stock portfolio, I hope so. It'd be nice. We will see if that is the case. Currently, to be completely fair, I think that the S&P 500 has a lot of headwind. When you look at this chart, a retest of possibly this resistance level could indicate some more sell pressure coming in. Again, an overall downward trend still persists when looking at the indices. Despite that, if we start to flip camps, if things start breaking out higher and we put in higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, that sort of stuff, then perhaps we will look for some long trades. But currently, I would say it's too soon to try and call any sort of stock market bottom in the meantime. That would be just my take on the matter. So yeah, S&P 500 is one of my favorite things to trade in the whole world. In fact, it is probably my favorite thing to trade in the whole world. But I don't like to short it, and I wait for bullish scenarios before looking to get long. So if and only if we start putting in higher lows and higher highs, I'll look to get back on my long trade ideas that you guys probably often have heard me talk about in my my trading performance. I'll show you guys something real quick. If you head over to a1trading.com, and if I go here to the menu, we have our track record here. This account here, I just got this finished being built. So this account, once it loads, will show you guys my do a lot of my indices, commodities trading like gold, etc. I was able to build a stat tracker for this stuff. And you can see this is month to month performance. It's been a tougher last year or so for my stock and indices performance. But prior to that, we had an incredible run. If we get a bullish case scenario, we'll likely see performance like this again. So I would love to see the markets become risk on again, where this strategy really strives. But again, waiting patiently for that. Again, these are signals being shared also within our Discord group. If you have not already asked us for help on signals, remember, head over to a1trading.com and just type in signals here in the chat box in the bottom right. And you can chat with one of our reps to get access to the trades being shared by myself, Frank, Ivan, and the rest of our team here. So if that's something you're interested in, there is how you can get access. And again, overall performance has been really good. But just, you know, in the last, I guess, since last year or so, it's been pretty flat on the indices and gold side for me. Currencies have been a lot better, but just pretty flat. Prior to that, we had an incredible run. So something to think about is strategies have times where they do better or worse. So yeah, we'll continue to wait for the S&P to really showcase the dollar here, though. The dollar idea coming down pretty hard. Dollar yen still not really making too much of a move, which is interesting to me. I think the yen is actually pretty weak today. Here's JXY gapping down. We've got things like, I'm just curious about the yen really quick. NZD JPY, CAD JPY, some of the other currency crosses to the yen really rallying here. So kind of interesting to watch that. Thanks, Nick. Loving the VIP Discord. Thank you, Josh, for saying so. I appreciate your feedback and glad to hear that. Market is not as volatile as expected. It's actually very volatile. It's just not following through like many traders may have expected. Again, S&P 500 rallied in both directions. You had things like Euro, which rallied to the downside, then shot to the upside. Now Euro right back up to the previous high. Will it break? That's going to be the question. And gold probably following suit if these things are, yep, there we go. Gold trying to pop back up to the top here around 1914.5. We'll watch to see if that ends up finding its way above previous resistance or not. And again, dollar trade looking really troublesome for dollar bulls like myself, though I don't have, I just have my dollar yen idea long right now. So we'll see if that yen can help us out a little bit, or if the dollar can catch any sort of a bounce there. Let's see. Just trying to read the comments, see what's going on with you guys in the chat. Yeah, just comments about all sorts of different assets from you guys. Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, what a wild CPI day. Not the sort of reaction that we got last time, I'll tell you that much. In the previous editions, I guess you could call it, of CPI, we had just monumental one directional moves. Things like this, those remind me of CPI stats or NFP numbers. We've had very continuing news recently. This is the first one in a while that has not been found with any follow through. And again, we'll see now the dollar is showing some signs, but again, on the initial spike, no immediate follow through. Now the market's sort of digesting and watching that, which is interesting to say the least. NASDAQ 100, how's the NAS doing in all this? NASDAQ is rallying hard. That's really interesting to see. NASDAQ, for the day traders out there, maybe some opportunity here to the upside. If we can break through resistance, you may see something like this. We'll watch to see if that plays out. If it does rally, probably looking to come back up into this trend line zone that we marked on our 4-hour chart. So you can see there is our sort of downward structure that we have in contention, if you will. So watching to see how that decides to play out here. Some higher lows, and again, decision time in terms of the S&P and NASDAQ and Dow. So we'll watch to see how that one plays out. So lots of craziness there. Let's see, what else do we have? Do we have anything else I just want to look at some of the euro pairs, see how the euro is doing in all this. Euro CAD coming down. You've got euro yen probably making a move up today. Yep, the yen just very weak. Euro Aussie, let's see, euro Aussie coming down. So it doesn't seem like euro is too hot. I guess we could go take a look also at the market heat map for this, just see what's going on in terms of the latest. So you've got a lot of yen pairs on top. You've got Swiss yen, and on the bottom, you've got things like gold kind of mildly flat here today. Dollar CAD, Euro CAD, Pound CAD. Seems like the CAD is actually sort of strengthening here today. I bet CAD yen is probably up a lot today. Let's see. Yeah, big pop for CAD yen this morning. And you can see from the lows now, a quick rally of like 200 pips. That's really crazy to see going on CAD yen. This one, if you're watching it, has sort of this downward structure it's trying to break out of. And I guess you could make an argument for, if it can break through this resistance, you may see some more upside, right? Yen pairs looking like they may have a bit of a pop going here. Watch closely for possible breakouts there on things like CAD yen, etc. Again, my dollar yen trade being helped by the yen, but hurt by the dollar. So that's why we're pretty much just flat on the move here in the last hour or so. But overall has found some rally from the bottom, up about 175 pips. Not quite as good as some of the other ones out there. So yeah, crazy. Guys, we're going to continue the stream here with our guest, Mr. Tom from Simply Forex. We'll bring him in and say hello. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Nick. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Good to have you back on the show. And sorry for all the daylight savings time change stuff. I know that can be a little tricky with planning shows with
Yeah,
people from around the world. So thank you for
no
being here
problem.
and excited to hear some of your analysis. Before I let you take over the stream, Tom, let me just remind you guys, if you want to check out Tom's channel, he has a channel on YouTube of his own called Simply Forex. You can search that up, or we'll even drop a link in the chat for you guys to go subscribe. And Tom, enjoy the show. Take over the analysis for a little bit, and we'll see you back next time.
All right. Cheers, Nick. Will do.
Cheers.
See ya. Okay. Good morning, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are from. So, yeah, let's just start, guys, by taking a quick look at the euro US dollar. Yeah, the CPI data has been, quite muted, really, but it was better than expected. Yeah. So, it should have given the dollar some strength, but it hasn't. And if that happens, guys, that is always a massive red flag for me. Yeah, if the news, so core CPI was better than expected, so you would expect US dollar strength, but instead we're getting US dollar weakness. That is a red flag. Yeah, that tells me that the dollar is still weak. Yeah, so yeah, interesting, guys. Yeah, but you'll see that happen a lot of the time. News is better than expected, but the market's moving the other direction. Yeah, very common. But guys, yeah, hello, I'm Tom. I'm from Simply Forex. Some of you may know me. I'm all yours for the next 45 minutes or so, guys. So yeah, just get as many questions as you like over to me, and we can analyze as many pairs as you like. I can see a lot of you wanting to look at euro, US dollar, gold going to the moon. Indeed. Yeah, gold has been flying, but trying to get in on gold has been difficult. There's not been many retraces. But Ayush, let's take a look at euro, US dollar for you. So guys, how I trade and how I look at the markets is it's a top-down approach, guys. So I'll look at the weekly chart, the daily, the H4 and the H1, and even sometimes enter on the M15. But I like to get the bigger picture and then enter on the smaller time frames. All right, so let's do that exactly with euro US dollar. All right, so this is the weekly chart, guys. And what are we seeing? So we are clearly seeing price in an uptrend. Okay. Yeah. And it's come all the way back down and tested this last low. All right. And we still had a big push up away from this zone. All right. So if I was just looking at the weekly chart, I would expect we can take price back up to these highs here. Okay, that's just looking at the weekly chart. Each time frame gives you a little bit more information, guys. So that's what the weekly chart is telling me. Yeah, and I've drawn these gray zones in. These are my support and resistance zones. And you can see this area here has been very good support. All right, so that's what the weekly is telling me. Let's drop down to the day chart now. What is this telling me? So this is telling me that we've had a structure break. Yeah, if we look at euro US dollar day chart, yeah, price came up. It was very overbought at this point. Yeah, and then it's come crashing down ever since. Yeah, and we have been in a downtrend. Okay, but this gray zone here has been holding. All right, and what has actually happened? Price has bounced off of this gray zone to the point where we have broken these highs. Okay, and in breaking these highs, we are now in an uptrend on the euro US dollar. So what am I looking for? I would potentially still be looking for buys with this pair, especially if you look at the bullishness of these candles. Look at these green candles, super bullish. All right, we even had a gap up the other day. Yeah, lots of buyers in the euro US dollar market. However, we are at this gray zone, and this gray zone is an area of potential resistance. Yeah, because you can see price has reacted historically at this level. So what would I want to do, guys? Yeah, I would still want to buy this pair. Okay, my view would be to take it back up to those weekly highs up here. All right. But that's the higher time frames. That's weekly and the daily charts. I know some of you guys look at H4, H1. So let's also take a look at those as well. All right. So this is the H4. All right. And we are seeing nothing but, you know, buying pressure. Yeah. Buying. However, we have not made higher highs as yet. Okay. If we continue to make higher highs, this tells me the trend momentum is still with us. Okay. So currently, yeah, this level here has become very important. All right. And it's, you know, currently flirting at this level. So let's see what happens at this level. But H4 is also weekly, daily. H4 is all telling me to buy this pair. Yeah. They're all in uptrends, guys. All right. And even look at the candles. Yeah, guys, I'm a big believer in just looking at support and resistance, structure of the market, and the candlesticks. And, you know, prior to the news, look at that H4 candlestick. That is telling me to keep buying this pair. But like I say, that news was better than expected for the US dollar. So this is now the H1, guys. What would I be looking for to take a trade? So if we get a break of this last high, yeah, then if we get a break candle that breaks this, then potentially we could carry on this momentum. Yeah, I put my stop below here and we could carry on this momentum. All right, but only if we get a break of these highs. Yeah, if we don't and price reacts quite aggressively at this level to the downside, then I think potentially we have some room for a retracement. Okay, potentially a retracement down to this level here, because this gap never got filled. Okay, so maybe price will want to come down and fill this gap. All right, so for me, guys, euro US dollar, it all depends what happens at this last high here and in this grey zone. Okay, if it breaks up, let's continue to buy it. If it starts to break down, you know, I'm looking for a break in H1 structure, then we can start shorting this pair, guys. Let the market tell you when it's what it wants to do. Don't ever say to yourself, I think long, I think short. Let the market tell you. So it says, Tom, I am now ready to go long. Yeah, if it breaks this high, or if price breaks down, it says, Tom, I am ready to go short. All right, let the market tell you what it wants to do. Don't jump in on trades. All right, so yeah, that is euro US dollar. I hope that helps whatever person asked this. FX undercurrent will be selling at 107.70. All right, up here. Okay. All right, makes sense. It's a resistance level. Yeah, price may come up to here. But again, for me to start shorting this pair, I still need price action to look something like this. I need a break in structure. That tells me that the market is ready to come lower. Okay, guys. So, yeah, what else are we looking at? All measures going down to C, no session. Okay, so you all want to look at US dollar pairs. So let's take a look at US dollar Japanese yen now. Who is this for? Uhid Kanus. I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. All right, so lots of US dollar pairs. Pound, US dollar, Aussie dollar, US dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, let's take a look, guys. Let's take a look at US dollar Japanese yen. A trade of mine today was actually buying euro yen. Okay, so let's see if that yen weakness is going to continue. So again, guys, what are we seeing? So this is the weekly chart. I suggest you do the same, guys. Yeah, top-down approach. Weekly gives you information. Daily gives you more information. H4 gives you information. H1 gives you information. Look at all the time frames. Yeah, each one will give you a new piece of information that you can use to make an informed decision. Yeah, if you're going to make a business decision, guys, you wouldn't just look at the first piece of information and say, yes, I will do that. you would look at all the information available. Yeah, trading is the same. Look at all the time frames. So weekly chart, I am seeing a downtrend. Yeah, we've got lower lows, and potentially this is the last lower high. Okay, this is potentially what I'm seeing on the weekly chart. All right, with US dollar, Japanese yen. So that's the first piece of information. We're in a downtrend, and you know, this candle here is quite bearish as well. And we're hitting off the moving average 20 as well. We're at a, you know, an area of resistance. Yeah, everything would tell me to short this back down to these lows. But that's the weekly chart. Okay, all I can see from a deal is gold, 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 gold. I hear you. I will do gold in a minute. Let's do US dollar yen first. So that's what the weekly's telling me. If we drop to the daily now, yeah, okay. So even on the daily chart, guys, yeah, we have seen it was in an uptrend. Okay, and then it found this key resistance level, and price has been tumbling down ever since. You know, and this yen strength, because yen is like a flight to safety currency, you know, because the indices are dropping, the yen will normally pick up strength. Yeah, it's a flight to safety. Same with gold. Yeah, you're seeing gold, you know, rocket off to the moon. It's because the indices, the economy isn't performing well. So again, this is in a downtrend, guys, but there is a level through here, all right, that price has reacted at. All right, so yeah, what I would look to do with US dollar yen, I would want a bit of a retrace, potentially back up to these lows here. I would then look for a bearish reaction, and I would start shorting this pair again. Okay. Let's zoom in so you can actually see that. I cannot short. Let's do a gray zone. Yeah, this is potentially an area of support, guys. Yeah, this was once, yeah, here, and now price is using this zone as an area of support. So I cannot short this pair now. Yeah, I want to short this pair, but I can't now. All right, because it's hitting an area of support. So I would want to see a retrace. It could potentially be up here. Yeah, this area here, these last lows. And then I want to see a negative reaction. And then I would start to short this again, potentially down to here. All right. Again, guys, let's look at the lower time frames to see what's going on. Okay, if we look at the H4, we are clearly in a downtrend. All right. And it's had quite the retrace back up to here. So, yeah, let's see what, I mean, just judging by this H4 candle, I think price could come back down to these lows. Yeah, perhaps test these lows, then we get a bounce off to the upside. But just looking at the H4, again, everything is telling me to short this pair. And again, yeah, we've got a, you know, a bearish candle that's formed here. Yeah, so again, guys, yeah, I would be looking for shorts back down to these lows. Yeah, I'm an intraday trader, guys. That would be enough pips for me. That would be me done for the day. Close up shop, you know, done. Let's take a look at the H1, see what that's telling us as well on US dollar, Japanese yen. Okay, so this is painting a different picture. Yeah, US dollar yen is painting a build up in structure. You see how important it is, guys, to look at all the time frames. Yeah, they all give you a slightly different, or potentially a slightly different look or view of that pair. So for me, this is building up. Yeah, US dollar, Japanese yen has had a build up in H1 structure. We're getting higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, so this for me is in an uptrend. If the uptrend continues, okay, follow that. But what I would be looking for is a breakdown in H1 structure. Because remember my weekly chart, my daily chart. If I want to short this, guys, I would need to see a breakdown in structure. Something like this, and then bang. Yeah, we get a break of structure. I like to be with H1. Okay, so if this continues up, it maybe has more room to the upside and potentially these last lows over here before it comes back down. All right, guys. So yeah, US dollar yen. That's what I'm seeing there. What else? Sisikello, how are you, my friend? We've just done US dollar yen. Gold. Let's take a look at gold, guys. So yeah, as part of my channel, guys, we have been longing this. Yeah, we've been trying to long the hell out of this commodity, this pair. Let's start with the weekly chart because this was really a weekly play. And guys, yeah, if you're enjoying my analysis as well, I give you my trade ideas every day. I plot these gray zones. I talk you through the trades. So if you're interested, come join the channel, Simply Forex. The link is in the live chat, guys. Yeah, so come join me. We'd love to have you on the channel. Welcome. Come join us. Right, gold. You are gold. Does everyone remember that song? Okay, only me. Weekly chart has been telling us to buy this. Yeah, this is my perfect entry. I'm going to show you now. So this gray zone through here, you can see price reacted many times at this gray zone. This is an important weekly level. All right, it's been support, resistance, resistance, now support. All right, and then at this gray zone, let's really zoom in. We had a bullish engulfing candlestick pattern, yeah, at an area of support and an area of dynamic support, my moving average 20. Everything in my very being was saying buy this commodity, buy this pair. And sure enough, guys, prices, you know, I fully expect price to come back up to these weekly highs. And this is a target I've had in for some time. Yeah, this 1927 level. So nothing but buys, buy. But the problem with this little rascal is getting into it. Yeah, I mean, even when it come down, we had a bit of a double bottom. Yeah, and then when price broke this high, we even had a structure change as well. We got higher highs. But the problem has been getting into this. Look how bullish these candles are. Yeah, crazy. There's been no retrace. There's been no action like this. Yeah, it's just been like this, which makes it very difficult to get in on this pair. That's the problem. Everyone knows that they're looking to buy gold. Yeah, I would say from that chart, it's quite obvious. But getting into this pair has been difficult. So yeah, nothing but buys. If we look at the H4, guys, I've penciled in a little area here today. Yeah, so I like this gray zone through here. It was these highs. Yeah, it was once acting as good resistance, and now it's broke that level. I was looking at this area for a potential buys. Okay, back up to those weekly highs. And this is this dotted orange line. That is my alarm. When my alarm goes off, I leap into action like Steven Seagal or Chuck Norris. Do you remember these people? If you do, let me know so I don't feel so old. All right. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for, guys. I mean, you know, looking at this H4 candle, yeah, potentially we can get down to this level. Yeah. And remember, the core CPI was better than expected. So we still might see a little bit of US dollar strength. Okay. So if we do, yeah, I'm looking to buy from this level here, guys. Yeah, and what I'm looking for is just a bullish reaction at this level. Yeah, that could be many things, guys. It could be a bullish candlestick pattern, just a candle that tells me buyers are in control. Maybe a H1 structure break, an M15 structure break. Yeah, so gold, I think this 1890 around this level could be a really good level to buy it. Again, it could just shoot off. This has been the problem with gold. Yeah, it could just shoot off and it's difficult to get in. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques now on the H1. Okay, so, you know, when a trade shoots off like this, Yeah, look at this trade. It's just gone. Yeah. What am I looking for to get in on trade? So basically, I can drop down to the H1 like I have done now, and I'm just looking for bullish H1 candles. It may sound obvious, but that's what I'm looking for to jump in on this pair. So, for example, let's say I wake up and the time is now. I see a bullish H1 candle. I can enter, put my stop below here. Yeah, let's say I missed this one. This candle's not bullish enough because of the wick. Yeah, let's say this candle. Yeah, I can enter, put my stop below here. Yeah, and my stop would have held. Okay, bullish. Yeah, I can put my stop back below here. All right, this candle, bullish H1 candle. I can enter here. I'd probably put my stop below this little swing low here, and I can still enter. So there's a little technique on the H1 chart is to just look for H1 candles when trend is crazy like gold. Yeah, look for H1 candles that tell you that buyers are in control. Yeah, sure enough, buyers will take the market up. All right, so gold. Okay, looking at gold on the H1 chart, this would be such candle. Okay, yeah, hasn't really broken these last lows. This candle could be a good candle to enter on. But for me, guys, yeah, if we go back to the H4, because of this H4 candle, yeah, I still think we have a bit of room to the downside. All right, that's just looking at candlesticks, reading candlesticks. Yeah, there are some sellers entering this market. So I still think potentially we can push it back down before we start buying this pair. All right, guys, so that's gold. Yeah, try and buy it if you can. Okay. What else we got here, guys? So, okay. So Nathan wants to look at euro pound. Okay, let's take a look at euro pound for Nathan. Okay. Good, steady name, Nathan. I like the name Nathan. Right, euro pound. This has been a very interesting pair. Okay, let's look at the day chart. Yeah, because why has it been an interesting pair? Because the market structure has been changed. So let me tell you, let me show you what I'm saying. Okay, so at this, let's imagine we're looking at the market here, right? When price breaks this high, we're in an uptrend. Price comes all the way back down. We've got this upward channel forming. Yeah, we can get in again. Okay. When we get this low, we now see a downward channel forming. Okay. And then price broke out of this channel, even broke these lows here. So for me, once price retraced to this gray zone, I was shorting the hell out of it. Okay, I made some nice profit, but to be honest with you, I did expect it to come back down to these lows. Okay, it didn't. Okay, and then at this level, it's broken back up. We've now got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So it was back in an uptrend, guys, and now it's at this important gray zone. And then ever since this gray zone, it has just tumbled down, yeah, even breaking this last low here. So in a nutshell, euro pound has been a menace. Yeah, it's been difficult to trade because we've had constant changes in structure, guys. All right, so it's been very difficult to trade. All right, but what would I do right now? Again, pretty difficult to judge, guys. Like, to be honest with you, I would stay out of this pair. To be quite honest with you, I'd just stay out of this pair and not trade it because it's already hit these last lows. Yeah, it's hit these last lows. This area through here is proving to be a good area of support. All right. So yeah, I mean, you could trade the bounce off of this level. Yeah, if we drop down to the H1 chart, okay. All right. So yeah, I think let's have a look at H4. Okay. Again, look at these candles, guys. Yeah, this candle with that wick says, okay, we can buy from this level. And then we get this wick that says we've got sellers. And this just sums up euro pound, guys. It's been a difficult one to trade. But if you said, Tom, you have to trade this, otherwise I will pull the nails from your finger, then I would buy it. Yeah, because we've just had a structure change on H1. Yeah, if we come down, yeah, we've had a real big, look at the buyers from this level. Look at the buyers pushed up from this level. We've had a bit of a retrace. I think this would be a nice level for a buy back up to this grey zone. And this last lows here. Yeah, H1 structure tells me we can look for some buys back to this grey zone. So in the short term, that's what I would do. Yeah, within the next few hours, I would buy euro pound. In the longer term, the day chart is all over the show. Okay, but yeah, let's see what happens with euro pound. Right, what else would you like to know about? Where's Evind? I don't know where Evind is. Okay, let's have a look at one of the indices, guys, to see how that is panning out. So let's have a look at the NASDAQ. Yeah, let's take a look at the NASDAQ for Vikashan, and then perhaps Hussein will have a look at the Dow Jones as well. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at this. Where are you, NASDAQ? Here you are. Let me take a quick drink of my daily vodka. Essential part of my trading. Right, well, just looking at the hourly chart, we're at a very important level. Let's start with the weekly chart. Weekly chart is telling me to buy. Yeah? We are in an uptrend. We've got higher lows, higher highs. Yeah? And this grey zone where price is currently bouncing off of would be quite a good area to look for buys back up to these highs. Yeah, we've got a grey support zone and we've got the moving average 20. Yeah, this would be a nice area to buy on the weekly chart. Okay, but bear in mind, guys, that is only the weekly chart. Yeah, let's look at all the information available to us. Let's take a look at the day chart now. Okay, so this was breaking down. Yeah, the day chart has been breaking down and then broke back up and then come shooting down. Yeah, this sums up the volatility of trading at the moment, guys. Yeah, it's also in the Forex pairs. It's been a difficult couple of weeks to trade. Yeah, and none more presented than looking at this NASDAQ. Yeah, we think, right, off to an uptrend and then bang, back down to a downtrend. However, I still think this grey zone in here is a good buying area. And these lows here never broke. Yeah, this wick closed back up into this zone. So these lows never broke. I would buy the NASDAQ, okay, back up. Sorry, this is US dollar. Yeah, I would buy the NASDAQ back up to these last highs. Okay, that's what I would do right now. All right, we've had a bullish candle. We're getting a bullish reaction. I would buy it up to those highs. Let's look at the H4 to see if that idea is reciprocated. And this is the level. I'm going to drag my grey zone out. Okay, let's refine it a little bit. Okay, so for me to really commit to this pair, to this indice, I want to see a break of this level. Okay, if this H4 candle looks something like this, yeah, and breaks H4 structure, yeah, that's what it will be doing, then we can buy it. Yeah, put your stop below the H4 entry candle and buy this back up to this last high or even these last highs. Yeah, but it's at a real pivotal point right now. Yeah. You could be aggressive and trade it now, but to put the probability in your favor, guys, if you get a break of this zone and a retest, you're just making the trade have a better chance of succeeding. Yeah, simple as that. So that's what I would wait for. Break of this level, test, retest, bang, back up. Yeah, buy your Ferrari, buy your mansion. All right, so that's the NASDAQ. Let's take a look now at, what else are we going to look at? Yeah, the Dow Jones. Okay, so let's have a look at the Dow Jones as well. Again, let's start with the weekly chart. Okay, this paints a slightly different picture. Yeah, I mean, we've looked at the NASDAQ, and on the weekly chart, we were seeing an uptrend. Now, on the Dow Jones, the weekly chart is telling me downtrend. Yeah, was it an uptrend? Didn't make higher highs, always a red flag, and then broke down. We broke these lows. So on the Dow Jones, I still think we have a bit of potential room to the downside. Yeah, you could do from here to here, you could do a fib 50 level or this last low here. These would be good targets. This psychological level of 31,000. Yeah, these would all be good targets. So this contradicts what we saw on the NASDAQ. Yeah, this is in a downtrend. All right, but again, let's get more information. Let's look at the day chart. Okay, downtrend. Yeah. What I'd be looking to do, guys, is this. Yeah, a retest up to this gray zone, these last lows here. I would look for a bearish reaction, and then I would start shorting this pair back down to one of those targets that I explained, guys. Yeah, so paints quite a different picture from the NASDAQ. And this sums up the markets, guys. There's so much indecision. Will the indices go lower? Yeah, or is it time for a turn now? Yeah, and it's perfectly reflected in the two charts I just looked at. They're very contradicting of each other. So I would short the Dow Jones at this level, and I would buy the NASDAQ today. Okay, so there you go, guys. And guys, if you're enjoying my analysis, come join my channel. I give you my trade ideas every day, every morning before the London Open. So come join us. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. The link is in the live chat. Merci beaucoup, gracias, dankeschön. Right, what else do we want to look at, guys? So everyone is looking at US dollar pairs. Okay. Let's take a look at pound yen. Candice, Alexandra, this is for you. Let's take a look at pound yen. Oh, no, pound Swiss franc, pound yen. So again, let's start with the weekly chart. Okay, this is an old target of mine. I'm going to remove it. So weekly chart is a mixed bag. Yeah, we were in a downtrend. As soon as this low is broken, we're in a downtrend. And then prices come back up, yeah, created a new lower high. Yeah, but then we haven't created a lower low, always a red flag. And then prices shot up and broken this last high. So for me, ever since we got a break of this high here, we're in an uptrend on the weekly chart. However, we have had sellers enter the market, and then it'll be interesting to see how this weekly candle finishes. All right, but weekly chart in an uptrend. If we look at the day chart, yeah, this, once you looked at this in early hours of this morning and you saw pound yen, this should be screaming to you, buy it. Yeah, because it's in an uptrend. Okay, it's come all the way back down to this last low and had a super bullish reaction. Look at that wick. that wick tells me that there are an abundance of buyers sitting in here. Yeah, there are loads of buyers sitting in here, perhaps some big orders sitting in here, just waiting to buy this market. And then pow, sure enough, look at that. Yeah, again, you could retire. Okay. So just at the start of the day, based on this candle, I would be saying, let's buy this pair. I was actually looking at euro yen. I was looking to buy that pair this morning. That was one of my trade ideas on my channel this morning. But pound yen, I mean, we've missed the move, really, you know. But okay, H4 was quite contradictory. Yeah, but we've had a move up ever since. Again, scruffy price action. We're at an important level here. Let's see how price reacts at this level. If we get a bit of a bearish reaction here, I think we can have a move back down to at least the moving average 20 before price comes back up further. Yeah, potentially. Let's take a look at the H1 as well to see what that's telling me. Okay, and again, guys, I will show you my bread and butter. Yeah, this is my bread and butter trading. So my daily view told me to look for buys. Remember, I explained why that huge wick. We're in a daily uptrend. We had a huge wick with trend. Yeah, buy it. And obviously, this is a little bit news driven as well. But when I am interested in this pair is at this level. Yeah, when we come up here, you can clearly see on the H1 there is a level of resistance here. Okay, but we've made higher lows. As soon as this resistance here is broken with this H1 candle, yeah, I am looking to enter. Yeah, I usually get a bit of a retrace back down to this level. Yeah, put my stop below here, and then my first target would be back up to these last highs. I would then close 80% of my trade and let 20% run. That, guys, is pretty much how I trade. Yeah, I'm looking for structure breaks on lower time frames to coincide with my higher time frame view. Yeah, getting very serious all of a sudden because this is how I trade. Okay, and then is a thing of beauty. Yeah, it breaks structure, we get a retest. Yeah, we can enter. Yeah, I look for these setups all day, every day. Yeah, and I love it. All right, so that would have been a good trade, guys. Okay, but pound yen, yeah, let's see what it does here. Potentially there's a bit of room to the downside, but then I think potentially back up. Okay, so that's pound yen. I was looking at euro yen, guys. Let me show you why. This was one of my trade ideas. Yeah, look at the day chart. It's another one of those diagonal support meets horizontal support. Yeah, so let's take a look at this. Yeah, when this happens in the markets, we have an upward channel and we have a very important area of support. Yeah, so we've got two pieces of support. We've got a diagonal support and we've got a horizontal support. Okay, so first of all, that is a thing of beauty to buy this pair. Secondly, we also get a huge wick. Yeah, again, buyers are sitting in here. Buyers are buying this up. Buyers are sitting in here. Again, maybe some big orders. And then sure enough, guys, look at this. We've had a break up. Again, I'll show you we had a H1 structure break here as well. Yeah. So we had a build up in structure. We got the break with this candle. We got a slight retest. Yeah, put your stop below here, enter, take price back up to here. Yeah, that is my bread and butter. The cat's out the bag. You know how I trade. There you go. Yeah, so that's what I look for, guys. Yeah, look for structure breaks all over the place. You want to be with trend, and to get in on a trend early, you look for a structure break. This gives you a nice early entry to a trend, obviously, because that's when trend changes. Guys, yeah, so that's what I look for. Right. Buy your Ferrari and mansions, guys. Yeah, do it. Why the hell not? Okay, lots of questions, guys. John Wick. Yes, I do love a wick. What else are we looking at? Gold, euro, US dollar, guys. I've already looked at that. US dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, let's take a quick look at US dollar, Swiss franc. Who is this for? This is for Gaurav Kata. I have probably pronounced your name beautifully, I'm sure. Right, US dollar, Swiss franc. Where are you? Here you are. All right, if we get a structure break here, we are buying this pair. Right, weekly chart. Okay, I'm going to draw this in. There's an area through here that has been resistance. Yeah, it's no surprise that if price has reacted historically at a level, it will react again at that level. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing trading? If we can't pick zones where price could react, then we're all screwed. All right. So, of course, price reacts at historical levels. Look at this one. Price reacted again. It's not a coincidence. All right. So that's the weekly chart. However, we are in a downtrend. Yeah. But we found very good support here. Now we go down to the day chart. Yeah. So this US dollar better than expected CPI data is maybe now kicking in a little bit. Yeah. All right. And we're down at these last lows and price reacted yesterday. Okay. And now we're getting a bullish reaction again off the back of that CPI better than expected. And we're at a very key area of support. So when this happens, guys, when price comes down to a key area of support, I'm going to tell you exactly what I look for. Okay, I look for this. I drop down to the H1 chart and I am looking for a break in structure. Okay, so look how from all the way up here, yeah. So this, I'm going to show you this. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This summarizes what I'm saying beautifully. So up here was in an uptrend. You can barely see it because price has been reacted so aggressively. But when this drops and breaks this low at a key level, I'm just following that structure break. We get a retrace, I enter. Yeah. And then H1 never breaks. Never breaks, 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 never breaks. But now we're at the bottom of this, of the US dollar Swiss franc. We're at that area of support. Now we could get a structure break to the upside, and that's all I'm looking for. Yeah, let's get rid of all this now. Let's really zoom in. So remember, this H1 structure never broke, never broke, never broke, never broke. Okay, and now, yeah, again, another telltale sign is, guys, another red flag is you don't make lower lows. Yeah, this market has stopped making lower lows. Yeah, pronounce my name. Gonsi and Mitamikulu. Excellent, I know. Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking for a structure break. We haven't had a lower low. Yeah, red flag. If you're in a downtrend, that's a red flag. Get out of the trade. And now if this candle breaks this last high, I would be looking for buys. I really would. We've had a H1 structure break. Maybe we get a little bit of a retest before we start coming up. But I will buy this pair if this H1 candle breaks this last high. Yeah. So take a look at that trade, guys. See how it pans out. I would buy this pair. Put my stop. I buy it here, put my stop below this swing low here, and then take price back up. All right, so that's what I would look for in US dollar, Swiss franc. Right, let's do one more, guys. We're almost out of time. Gold, euro, US dollar, Swiss franc, we've done. Gonse, I'm sure I pronounced your name wonderfully. Did you drink energy drink today? Oh, Simon. Okay. Okay. What else are we looking at? Okay, let's look at one more trade. We're going to look at Aussie dollar, US dollar for Neil Gubalani. I know, guys, I'm pretty impressive with my pronunciation. The more vodka I drink, the better it gets. And guys, before I do this last analysis for Aussie dollar, US dollar, if you're enjoying this analysis, want to get my trade ideas every day, how I trade, what I look for, then come join us. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. The link is in the live chat. Click on the link. You'll see my ugly mug every morning. Right, last one, guys. Aussie dollar, US dollar. Okay, let's take a quick look. What are we seeing? All right, so it's like I say, we're seeing that US dollar strength come back a bit. Weekly chart, yeah, short. Yeah, it was in an uptrend. This last low didn't hold. It broke with this candle here. All right, so looking at the weekly chart, this would tell me to short this pair. All right, that's what the weekly's telling me. If I then go to the day chart, this is also telling me to short it. Yeah, we're clearly in a downtrend. Ever since this low here is broken, we've been in a downtrend. Okay, and price has reacted at these last lows. No surprises there. What was once support becomes resistance. This is the most wonderfully beautiful pattern you'll ever see. All right, so I would look for shorts in here, potentially back down to these lows. And if not, further. All right, that's what I'm looking, that's what I'm seeing on weekly and daily. If we drop down to the H4 now, what is this telling me? This, okay. This is telling me that price broke up, yeah, and was in a bit of upward momentum. But it is struggling to break this area. Yeah, we've had this huge wick down, which again tells me sellers are sitting in here. All right, so it will be difficult for price to push past this area. All right, but I am not willing to short this H4 candle. That H4 candle is super bullish. Yeah, I'm not willing to short it. But in the next 4, 8, 12 hours, if we get a bit of price action that looks like this, and then perhaps we get a real bearish candle that breaks some structure, yeah, I would be looking to short this down to here. I'm always looking for structure breaks, guys. Yeah. It may mean that you get in a little bit later, but it increases the likelihood of the trade being successful. This is the trade-off you have. Let's drop down to the H1. What's that telling me? Again, we're in an uptrend. Yeah, so I'm not willing to sell this just yet. Okay, but the daily and the weekly are telling me to sell this. So what would I want to see? A breakdown in structure. Yeah, this is the last. These are the last. This area through here is the last H1 lows. So what I'd want to see something like this, and then bang, we get a break of these lows. Yeah, I can put my stop above here, take price back down to these lows, if not further. All right, guys. So yeah, Aussie dollar, US dollar, looking for shorts there, really. All right, guys. So yeah, I am out of time, guys. All right. But yeah, thanks for all your questions. I've really enjoyed spending some time with you. Like I say, if you've enjoyed my analysis, then come join the channel. The link is in the live chat. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, guys. Have a great trading day.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles. keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And remember, if you open a $1,000 or more trading account with 8cap, you'll receive a free copy of the Edge Finder. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.